1 year after the Battle of Mars, Earth had transformed. Humanity stood united with their silvery allies, preparing for the return of the void. Harvesters' cities now featured crystalline towers that served as consciousness amplifiers, strengthening human minds against void influence. Stellar dragons flew openly in Earth skies, bonded with selected humans, their presence both protection and symbol of alliance. Olivia sat in the garden of the Unified Command Center, watching 3 moons rise over. The horizon. Earth now had 3 moons. The original and 2 silvery orbital stations designed to look like natural satellites, but housing powerful defense systems. The night sky itself had changed with new constellations created by silvery ships. In defensive formation, her appearance had stabilized after the extreme bonding with Queen Lyriel. Her eyes permanently iridescent with star patterns moving within them, her skin with subtle luminescence visible in darkness. Her mind expanded beyond human limitation, yet still fundamentally Olivia Mercer, still loyal to Earth and humanity, but with deeper understanding of her place in the cosmos. Samantha approached carrying data tablets. Her connection with Azarath now formalized through modified bonding ceremony. Her eyes showed subtle changes, not as dramatic as Olivia's, but noticeable to those who knew her. The first generation of dragon riders, 12 humans selected for compatibility, trained under her guidance, forming an elite defense force. The deep space sensors detect movement, Commander Samantha said. The main harvester fleet approaches earlier than projected. 8 months. Not the year we hoped for, Olivia nodded unsurprised. The Void adapted quickly, learning from defeat. The Scout vessel that escaped had carried information back to the main fleet. They would come prepared for human. Silvery Alliance would have countermeasures for techniques used in the first battle. Is Earth ready? She asked. As ready as possible, Samantha replied. The neural shields cover 90% of population centers. The fleet has expanded, incorporating Silveri technology. The bonded teams function at 93% efficiency. The Mars quarantine holds no signs of remaining cult activity, but Olivia sensed her friend's concern. Something troubles you. Samantha hesitated. The fragments of Queen Lyriel within you, have they provided insight? The dragon riders dream of darkness beyond stars. Something hunting something larger than the harvesters. Olivia closed her eyes, reaching into the shared consciousness that remained after the extreme bonding. Queen Lyriel existed now in multiple states. Part of her consciousness remained in her physical body, part merged permanently with Olivia, part spread among trusted Silvari leaders, a distributed existence that provided resilience against void corruption. The harvesters serve something greater, Olivia confirmed, opening her eyes. Their purpose is not random consumption. The void itself has consciousness, intention. The harvesters are merely extensions agents of larger entity. This information had been kept from general knowledge, too frightening for humans already struggling to accept the reality of void harvesters. Only those directly involved in strategic planning knew the full truth. The war was not just for survival, but for the nature of reality itself. The void seeks to consume possibility itself, Olivia explained, narrowing the quantum pathways of the universe toward a single predetermined outcome. It feeds on potential, on choice. The Silvari, with their ability to perceive quantum probabilities, have been fighting to keep reality's options open. Samantha absorbed this, her scientific mind grappling with metaphysical concepts. So this is why the bonding matters, why the dragons, the shared consciousness. It's not just for fighting ability. It's about maintaining quantum diversity. Precisely, Olivia smiled. The bond between different species creates new quantum states, new possibilities. The void cannot predict or control. The more connections between diverse minds, the stronger the resistance. Their conversation paused as Azarath landed nearby. The dragon, once massive, now somewhat diminished after the Mars battle. His scales still shimmered with star patterns, but less brilliantly. His movements more deliberate, less fluid. Yet his mind remained powerful, his wisdom essential to the alliance. The dragon lowered his head in greeting, mental communication flowing easily between the 3 of them. Images, feelings, concepts exchanged without need for words. The dragon's ancient perspective providing context for current strategies. They are coming. The dragon communicated. Not just to Earth, but to all worlds with potential in this sector. They hunger for the unique combinations of consciousness here, particularly the new bonds between humans and Scifi. These create quantum states they have not encountered before. The Defense Council meets in 1 hour, Samantha said aloud. For the benefit of approaching staff members, Admiral Donovan expects full briefing on deep space sensor data. Olivia nodded, turning her attention to immediate concerns. The philosophical understanding of their enemy mattered, but practical defense required concrete plans. The unified command composed of human and Sylvari leaders would finalize strategy for the coming conflict. Inside the command center, holographic displays showed solar system defense positions, data streams from thousands of sensors monitoring space for void activity. Communication channels linked Earth with Sylvari homeworld and colony planets now unified in common defense. Admiral Donovan entered looking older than her years. The past 12 months had aged her, the responsibility of Earth defense weighing heavily. The Admiral had adapted admirably to partnership with aliens, though she still viewed some Sylvari concepts with healthy skepticism. Commander Mercer. She greeted Olivia with respect, but not warmth. Their relationship remained professional, complicated by Olivia's transformation. The Admiral never fully comfortable with the changes, yet recognizing their necessity. Lieutenant Wells, she nodded to Samantha. The briefing began with technical details. Void Harvester fleet composition, estimated arrival times, defensive positioning, all the practical elements of war planning. But underlying these specifics lay deeper strategy. The quantum battle for possibility itself. As discussions continued, Olivia felt familiar presence. Queen Lyriel entered the chamber, her physical form still beautiful and otherworldly, but changed since Mars. Her silver hair now contained black strands, her movements less fluid, her power diminished by the sacrifice she had made. Yet her authority remained, her wisdom undiminished. The room quieted as the Queen spoke. All sensors confirm the Harvester fleet approaches, she said, her voice carrying complex harmonics audible only to those with enhanced perception. We have perhaps 8 months to complete preparations. This time they will not send scouts first. They come in force, Admiral. Donovan studied tactical displays. How many? More than we faced at Mars. The Queen answered, many more. Their main fleet numbers. Thousands of vessels, each capable of consuming a small moon for energy. Olivia and I have conferred through our shared consciousness. We believe their strategy will target bonds directly. They will attempt to corrupt the connections between our species. This assessment matched Olivia's own analysis. The Void Harvesters had encountered unified species before, but the Human-Sylvari alliance represented something new. Different types of consciousness connected through bonds, creating quantum states resistant to void influence. The enemy would prioritize disrupting these connections. We must strengthen the bonds, Olivia said, addressing the council. We need more connections between humans and Sylvari. More dragon riders. More shared consciousness. The bonds create quantum interference patterns the void cannot easily predict or control. General Williams, still skeptical after all this time, frowned. You propose more humans undergo these transformations, more changes like yours. Commander Olivia met his gaze steadily. Not exactly like mine, General. My bonding with Queen Lyriel was extreme, necessitated by crisis. But yes, we need more connections. At least 500 compatible humans bonded with Sylvari partners. Another 50 dragon riders. Minimum. The numbers caused murmurs around the table. The implications significant. Finding compatible humans, screening for cult influence, training bonded pairs. All while preparing conventional defenses, and the side effects, Dr. Quinn asked. The genetic changes, neural rewiring minimal with proper preparation. Olivia assured them. The first bonds were rushed, experimental. The processes have been refined. The changes now focused on enhancing communication while maintaining individual identity. Both species remain themselves but gain understanding of the other. After hours of discussion, the Council approved expanded bonding program, Admiral Donovan authorizing resources, General Williams reluctantly accepting necessity, Dr. Quinn overseeing medical protocols, Queen Lyriel providing Sylvari expertise. The war effort would proceed on multiple fronts: conventional weapons, defensive positions, neural shields, and the quantum strategy of connected consciousness. As the meeting concluded, Olivia remained in the chamber studying holographic displays of approaching Void Fleet, her expanded mind calculating probabilities, seeing patterns, recognizing strategies. Queen Lyriel joined her, their shared consciousness, allowing silent communication. They seek the nexus points, the Queen observed. Places where bonds between our species are strongest. They will target bonded pairs, especially you and Samantha. The Dragon Riders, the command structure. Olivia nodded. I know we must prepare defenses specifically for those most connected, create redundancies, distributed consciousness like yours. The Queen touched Olivia's hand gently, the shared consciousness between them brightening at physical. 6 months passed in a blur of preparation. Earth forces worked alongside Sylvari engineers, integrating technologies, adapting strategies. Olivia moved between worlds, coordinating the alliance, her changed eyes and expanded mind serving as bridge between species. The bond with Queen Lyriel grew stronger, allowing instantaneous communication across vast distances. Samantha had begun limited communication with Azarath, her natural affinity for the dragon growing with each interaction. Though she had not undergone formal bonding, she could sense the dragon's thoughts, receiving images and impressions directly without the Queen's mediation. This unexpected development suggested humans had hidden potential that even the Sylvari had not fully anticipated. On this day, Olivia stood on the bridge of the Earthship's flagship Defiance, Admiral Donovan beside her. The combined defense fleet moved into position at the edge of the solar system. Sylvari vessels with their organic crystalline designs floated alongside human ships, creating a barrier against the approaching darkness. Our sensors detect anomalies at the edge of the Kuiper Belt, Admiral Donovan said. They match the Sylvari descriptions of Void Harvester scout ships. Olivia nodded. Feel them through the bond. Dark minds hungry, empty. The scouts test our defenses, search for weaknesses. The Admiral studied tactical displays. The fleet is in position, all weapon systems online. She still spoke of weapons, though the true defense would be far more complex than conventional arms. The Sylvari had provided technology that targeted consciousness itself, protecting minds from void. Harvester influence. Queen Lyriel appeared on the main view screen. Her silver hair now contained more crystals, markers of increased mental connection with bonded allies. Her eyes reflected the same iridescent patterns as Olivia's. They are coming, Commander. Are your people prepared? As prepared as possible, Olivia replied. 6 months was not long to adapt to technologies beyond human understanding, but they had made remarkable progress. The neural shields protected key military and government personnel from mental infiltration. The consciousness amplifiers strengthened human minds against void influence. Samantha joined them on the bridge. Lieutenant Wells had become essential to operations. Her partial connection with Azarath allowed her to coordinate dragon movements with fleet positioning. The massive stellar dragons now numbered 12, having joined from distant Sylvari colonies, each bonded with human pilots, creating a new kind of fighting force. The first engagement approaches. Samantha set her eyes distant as she communicated with Azarath. Void scouts will breach the outer defense line in approximately 20 minutes. Crew members moved with purpose, following procedures practiced countless times over months of preparation. No one fully understood what they would face, but all knew the stakes. Earth itself hung in the balance. Olivia reached through the bond-sharing strength and resolve with Queen Lyriel. The connection had grown so seamless that thoughts flowed like water between them, their separate experiences and perspectives combining into something greater than either alone. On tactical displays, the first void vessels appeared. Their design defied conventional understanding. Black shapes that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Their movements followed no recognizable pattern appearing. To shift between dimensions, all ships maintain formation. Admiral Donovan ordered engage only when targets enter weapons range. The Void Scouts approached, slowly testing probing. They emitted no signals, sent no communications. Their purpose was to assess resistance, identify weaknesses. Olivia felt their alien consciousness like cold fingers probing the edges of her mind. The neural shields held firm, but the sensation remained disturbing. First contact in 60 seconds. Samantha announced, dragons. Moving to intercept on external cameras. The massive forms of stellar dragons appeared streaking through space, their scales shifting with star patterns. Their massive wings somehow finding purchase in the vacuum, their mouths glowing with internal energy waiting to release. The first shots came from a Void Scout. A beam of darkness that seemed to consume rather than damage struck a human destroyer. The ship's shields flared and held, but crew members screamed, clutching their heads as something attacked their minds directly. Activate neural dampeners. Olivia commanded Level 3 protection protocols. Throughout the fleet, human crews activated Silvari technology that shielded consciousness against void influence. The mental attack subsided, but damage had been done. Several crew members lay unconscious, their minds temporarily overwhelmed. Return fire. Admiral Donovan ordered human and Silvari weapons engaged conventional projectiles and energy weapons alongside Silvari consciousness. Disruptors. The combined assault struck the lead Void Scout. Its dark surface absorbed much of the attack, but Azurath and 2 other dragons released stellar fire that burned through its defenses. The scout vessel shuddered, then imploded, collapsing into itself like a miniature black hole. First blood to us, Samantha said. But more approach. I count 27 scout vessels now entering the system. The battle expanded as Void Scouts spread across the defense line, probing for weaknesses. Human ships maintained formation, firing continuously. Silvari vessels moved with impossible grace, sliding between dimensions to attack from unexpected angles. Dragons carried bonded pilots, both human and Silvari, striking with precision and power, but during the first major engagement something went catastrophically wrong. A third of the human fleet suddenly went silent. Their communication systems dead, their weapons turned inward, firing on allied vessels, their navigation systems driving them into collision courses. What is happening? Admiral Donovan demanded. Olivia reached out through the bond, sensing disturbance patterns. No, she whispered. The Ascension cult. She turned to the Admiral. The compromised ships, they all participated in the war games. Near Mars base last month. Samantha paled. The Mars base. The ancient temple we discovered. Understanding dawned with horrible clarity. The temple beneath the Martian surface that archaeologists had uncovered 3 months earlier had been more than an abandoned Silvari outpost. It had been a trap. A beacon activated by human presence calling to those Silvari who had abandoned their people millennia ago. The ships turned against us are broadcasting a signal, Samantha reported as Azurath fed her information. The translation comes through as, "The worthy shall ascend." Queen Lyriel appeared on the command screen, her expression grim. The Ascension cult. She confirmed. Silvari, who believe merging with the void, harvesters is the path to godhood. They see the harvesters not as destroyers but as transcendent beings offering evolution beyond physical form. The betrayal cut deeper when identification confirmed Vice Admiral Morgan Price, commanding the lead compromised vessel. Vice Admiral Price had been Olivia's mentor, her sponsor for the first contact mission. The implications were staggering. The Ascension cult had infiltrated Earth decades ago, preparing humanity to become willing sacrifices. We need to reclaim those ships. Admiral Donovan said they contained 10,000 of our people. Olivia nodded, focusing through the bond-seeking solution. She felt Queen Lyriel's ancient knowledge combining with her human strategic training. Through their shared consciousness, an answer emerged. The cult uses frequency harmonics to control ships and crews, she explained. If we can disrupt those frequencies even briefly, we might break their hold. Samantha worked with Azurath, their partial bond allowing rapid communication. The dragon knows these frequencies, she said excitedly. They were used in ancient wars. The stellar fire can disrupt them if precisely calibrated. Hope flickered through the command crew, but implementation would be dangerous. The dragons would need to engage directly with compromised vessels, releasing controlled bursts of energy that might damage the ships they were trying to save. "What's the alternative?" Admiral Donovan asked grimly. "We lose those ships and everyone aboard them," Olivia answered. "And worse, the cult gains their knowledge, technology, weaponry." The decision made Samantha coordinated with the dragons while Olivia and Queen Lyriel synchronized defenses. The rest of the fleet formed a protective barrier around Earth, focusing on the Void Scouts still probing. For weakness, Azurath led the dragon assault. His massive form approached the compromised vessels, his stellar fire carefully calibrated to disrupt control frequencies without destroying the ships themselves. The Vice Admiral's flagship fired all weapons at the approaching dragon, but Azurath's scales absorbed the energy, his ancient body designed to withstand even stellar radiation. The first burst of stellar fire engulfed the flagship. Communication systems briefly flickered, then stabilized. Samantha, working with silvery technicians, sent override codes through the momentary opening. The ship's weapons powered down, navigation systems returned to human control. "It's working." Samantha called. "One ship reclaimed, 9 more to go," but the cult adapted quickly. The remaining compromised vessels changed formation, protecting each other. Their hulls began to shimmer with void energy, absorbed from the scout ships. Communications intercepted from these vessels revealed human voices speaking in ancient Silvari language, chanting worshipful phrases to the void. The horror of the situation became clear. These humans had been converted, not just controlled. Their minds partly merged with void consciousness. They fought not as prisoners, but as willing participants, believing the void offered ascension beyond physical limitations. Azurath communicated directly to Samantha, his mental voice reaching through their partial bond. The cult prepared F. The Silvari ship cut through space faster than any human vessel. Olivia stood on the bridge watching stars blur past. Her new eyes could see patterns in the faster-than-light travel that normal human vision missed. She could sense the ship sliding between dimensions rather than just moving quickly through normal space. Samantha worked nearby, analyzing data from the bonding ceremony, her scientific curiosity overcoming her initial fear. Lauren operated the communication systems, learning the alien technology with remarkable speed. Both women glanced occasionally at their commander, still adjusting to the subtle changes in her appearance and behavior. "We approach Earth orbit," Queen Lyriel announced. "The ship will remain cloaked until your leaders grant permission to reveal ourselves." Olivia nodded, appreciating the caution. Humanity would be frightened enough by her report without a massive alien vessel appearing suddenly in orbit. Admiral Catherine Donovan was expecting them, but the rest of Earth government remained unaware of recent developments. "Are you prepared?" Commander, the Queen asked softly. "The Admiral may not believe what you have become, what you have seen." "I am prepared," Olivia replied, the bond between them allowing deeper understanding than words alone could convey. If necessary, Azurath can provide evidence that cannot be denied. The dragon currently flew alongside the ship, somehow navigating the same dimensional pathways without technology. His massive form, occasionally visible through the viewports, was a constant reminder of how little humanity truly understood about space and its possibilities. Samantha approached, holding a data pad. "Commander, before we arrive, I should inform you of something strange in my readings." She lowered her voice, though the Queen could surely hear. "Your DNA shows subtle changes. The bond appears to have affected you on a cellular level, not just neurologically. Is it dangerous?" Olivia asked. "Not that I can detect," Samantha answered. "But it's unprecedented. Your cells now contain trace elements not found on Earth, similar to what we detected in Silvari tissue samples, but not identical. It's as if your biology is adapting, evolving." The Queen smiled, hearing this conversation. "The bond changes, all who experience it. Commander, your body adjusts to handle the expanded consciousness. It is temporary for most, but for deep bonds like ours, the changes may become permanent." Olivia absorbed this information with surprising calm. Her old self might have panicked at the thought of alien DNA integrating with her own, but her expanded mind understood the necessity. The coming war would require humans who could interface directly with silvery technology, who could communicate across species barriers. Without translation, the ship entered Earth orbit cloaked from human detection systems. A shuttle prepared to take Olivia and her team to Lunar Base Alpha, where Admiral Donovan waited. Remember, Queen Lyriel said, as they prepared to depart, "Show them. Do not just tell them humans need evidence more than words." Olivia nodded understanding. The bond had taught her much about both species. Silvery trusted intuition and shared consciousness, while humans required data and proof. Neither approach was wrong, just different, complementary even. They would need both in the coming conflict. The shuttle landed on the lunar surface. Admiral Donovan, a stern woman with gray hair and piercing eyes, waited in the airlock. Her expression remained neutral as Olivia and her team disembarked, but her eyes widened slightly at the sight of Olivia's changed appearance. Commander Mercer, Admiral Donovan said formally, "Welcome back. Your preliminary reports were concerning, to say the least." Admiral Olivia responded, "With a salute, I have much to share beyond what I could transmit." They moved to the secure conference room deep within the lunar base. Dr. Heather Quinn, the leading xenobiologist assigned to the first contact mission, waited there along with military officials and government representatives. Their faces showed a mixture of curiosity, suspicion, and in some cases fear. Olivia felt their emotions as faint impressions against her consciousness. The bond had enhanced her empathic abilities, allowing her to sense strong feelings from others, especially when those feelings concerned her directly. She stood straight and began her report. "The Silvery are not just similar to elves from our mythology," she explained. "They might be the origin of those myths. They visited Earth thousands of years ago, establishing outposts and integrating with ancient human civilizations." "Impossible," one of the military officials interrupted General Patrick Williams. "According to his nameplate, they would have left evidence, technological artifacts. They did," Olivia countered. "They left stories, myths, legends of magical beings with pointed ears and exceptional abilities. They left altered human DNA in certain populations. They left structures we still cannot explain." Dr. Quinn leaned forward. "Fascinated, Commander. Are you saying the ancient astronaut theories were correct?" "Some of them. Yes," Olivia said. "We have been looking for the wrong evidence. General technology degrades, structures crumble, but stories persist, DNA endures." She activated the holographic display showing data collected from Eldara 7, including genetic markers that matched certain Earth populations, archaeological evidence and linguistic similarities between ancient Earth languages and Silvari speech patterns. "The Silvari left Earth when the Void Harvesters approached their home system," Olivia continued. "They hoped to lead the threat away from humanity. They succeeded for thousands of years, but now the cycle repeats. The Harvesters approach our galaxy again." Admiral Donovan frowned. "You expect us to commit Earth forces based on a psychic impression you received from an alien dragon?" Olivia had anticipated this response. "I have sent the data. Admiral, the stellar cartography from the Silvari archives confirms it. The pattern of dead stars matches their predictions exactly." She displayed another hologram showing star systems going dark in a clear pattern, leading toward the Milky Way. Dr. Quinn studied the biological samples Olivia had provided. "This changes everything we thought we knew about convergent evolution," she whispered. "The cellular structure shows signs of adaptation to multiple environments across thousands of years of evolution, yet maintains core similarities to the human genome, especially in cognitive development genes." One of the government representatives, a woman named Victoria Marsh, leaned forward. "Commander, your eyes. What happened to you exactly?" Olivia met her gaze directly. "I underwent a bonding ceremony with Queen Lyriel and her dragon Azurath. It expanded my consciousness, giving me access to Silvari knowledge and perception. The visual changes are a side effect, and your loyalty." General Williams demanded, "Where does it lie now?" "Commander, with Earth, or with these aliens?" Both Olivia answered honestly. "The bond did not replace my humanity or my commitment to Earth. It added to it. I can now understand the threat more clearly and help coordinate our defenses with Silvari technology." We need this. Alliance General the Void. Harvesters cannot be fought with conventional weapons or strategies. Samantha stepped forward presenting her scientific findings. The neural and genetic changes in Commander Mercer are real, but they have not altered her core personality or memories. Her brain function has been enhanced, not replaced or controlled. My readings confirm this. Admiral Donovan studied the data in silence for several minutes. Then she looked up. How long do we have? 6 months before their scout ships reach our system, Olivia answered. Perhaps a year before the main force arrives, we must begin preparations immediately. The Queen has offered technology weapons knowledge, but more importantly, she offers an alliance based on shared survival. Meeting continued for hours. Questions were asked, evidence examined, arguments made. Olivia felt the weight of humanity future on her shoulders. She knew the bond made her claims seem suspicious, yet that same bond gave her the patience and clarity to address each concern with precision. Meanwhile, on the cloaked silvery ship orbiting Earth, Azarath sensed something unexpected. The dragon closed its ancient eyes, focusing its vast consciousness. Somewhere on the planet below, a mind called out, unconsciously compatible with draconic bonding. A second human with the rare neural pattern that allowed direct communication. Queen Lyriel felt her companion's discovery through their own bond. Most interesting, she murmured. Perhaps humans have more potential than even we suspected. The bond with Commander Mercer opened pathways we did not anticipate. Back on the lunar base, Admiral Donovan finally came to a decision. We will proceed with caution, she announced. The evidence is compelling enough. To warrant preliminary defensive preparations, I will present your findings to the World Security Council, with my recommendation for a limited alliance. It was less than Olivia had hoped for, but more than she had feared. Admiral Donovan was respected. Her word carried weight. If she supported even limited cooperation, others would listen. As the meeting concluded, Dr. Quinn approached Olivia privately. Commander, I have a theory about why the Sylvari Queen chose you. Specifically, Olivia tilted her head. Curious, the doctor had no way of knowing what the bond had revealed. Your genetic profile. Dr. Quinn continued, shows markers we identified in only 0.01% of the human population. Markers that match certain sequences in the Sylvari genome. I believe you may be a descendant of humans who interacted with Sylvari visitors thousands of years ago. Olivia smiled, her iridescent eyes catching the light. The Queen knows, she said simply. She has always known the Sylvari keep records across millennia, Dr. Quinn. They remember their time on Earth and those they connected with. They have waited and watched for compatible humans to evolve again. Dr. Quinn looked stunned. 3 lunar cycles passed since first contact. Olivia stood in the ancient grove surrounded by crystal trees that absorbed and reflected the light of 3 moons. The air smelled sweet, like honey, and something else she could not name. Her heart beat fast in her chest. Earth command had been clear. Refuse nothing that might be interpreted as hostile. The Sylvari technology was too advanced. Their stellar dragons too powerful. Humanity needed allies, not enemies. If Queen Lyriel wanted a bond, whatever that meant, Olivia was ordered to accept. Captain Foster and 3 crew members had returned to Earth with reports and data. Lieutenant Samantha Wells and Communications Officer Lauren Kelly stayed with Olivia. They watched from the edge of the grove, worry clear on their faces. Queen Lyriel approached wearing ceremonial armor that seemed made of living metal. It shifted and moved with her body, catching starlight and bending it in impossible ways. Her silver hair was braided with crystals and small flowers that glowed blue in the darkness. The bond is not what you think, Commander Queen Lyriel said, her voice gentle yet firm. We do not seek mates in your human sense. We seek warriors whose minds can withstand the coming darkness. Olivia nodded, though she did not fully understand. What does the bonding involve exactly? Your Majesty. The Queen gestured to the center of the grove where a pool of water reflected the 3 moons perfectly, a sharing of minds, a connection that will allow us to fight as one against the void. You will remain yourself, but you will also be more above them. Azurath circled his massive wings, created gentle wind currents, that made the crystal trees sing with strange music. His scales shifted colors from midnight blue to cosmic purple starlight patterns moving across his body. Lieutenant Wells moved closer, holding a small device in her hand. "Commander, I should monitor your vitals during whatever this is," she said, her voice professional, but her eyes, concerned. Queen Lyriael nodded. "The human may observe. The bond will not harm your commander physically, but changes will occur." "Changes?" Olivia asked. "What kind of changes?" "You will see with new eyes," Queen Lyriael said. "You will know what we know, feel what we feel, understand what we understand. It is necessary if we are to stand against the void." "Harvesters." Samantha activated her scanner, its soft beeping. The only human sound in the alien grove. Lauren stood beside her, recording everything with the ship's technology. Earth scientists would analyze every second of this unprecedented event. Olivia took a deep breath and stepped into the center of the grove. The water of the pool felt warm against her boots. The Queen joined her standing so close their shoulders almost touched. Azurath descended from the sky, his massive body somehow landing gently around the pool, forming a circle with his own body. The three moons aligned perfectly overhead. Their combined light focused through some property of the crystal trees created a beam that struck the pool, making the water glow with internal light. "Speak the words of acceptance," Queen Lyriael instructed. "What words?" Olivia asked. "I was not told of words. The ones in your heart. The dragon. We'll find them." Olivia felt strange, a pressure building in her mind, like someone knocking more insistently now. She closed her eyes, and suddenly words in a language she had never heard came to her lips. She spoke them perfectly, though she did not know their meaning. The Queen smiled and repeated the same words. Then together they kneeled and touched the glowing water. The world exploded into light and sensation. Olivia gasped as her mind expanded. She saw stars being born and dying. She felt the cold of deep space and the heat of nebulas. She experienced memories that were not her own, ancient battles against shadows that consumed entire worlds. She saw Earth as it was thousands of years ago when the first Sylvari scouts arrived and were mistaken for magical beings. The shared consciousness was overwhelming. Olivia felt herself drowning in it. Then a strong presence steadied her. The dragon. Azurath, his mind ancient and vast yet gentle, guided her through the flood of information. "You are strong." Human Azurath's voice spoke directly in her mind. "Not many can withstand the first bonding without losing themselves." Olivia struggled to maintain her sense of self while accepting the connection. Who are they? These void harvesters. Why do they hunt you? Images flowed into her mind. Beings of living darkness that fed on consciousness itself. They consumed stars for energy, but their true hunger was for sentient minds. They had chased the Sylvari across countless galaxies, destroying worlds in their wake. Now they approach the Milky Way, drawn by the combined consciousness of billions of humans. They hunger for your kind. Queen Lyriael's thoughts joined the mental conversation. Humans have unique minds, powerful, adaptable. Your species draws them like light draws moths. How do we fight them? Olivia asked. Together, the Queen answered. Our technology, your adaptability, our dragons, your numbers. Together, we might stand where separately we would fall. The vision shifted, showing Olivia a future where humans and Sylvari fought side by side against the encroaching darkness. Ships of both species combined technologies, dragons carrying weapons designed by human engineers, minds linked through bonds like the one she now experienced, creating networks the void could not corrupt. The water in the pool began to boil with energy. The three moons' light intensified. The crystal trees hummed louder, their music becoming almost painful. From the edge of the grove, Samantha called out, Commander, your neural patterns are changing drastically. Your brainwaves are synchronizing with unknown patterns. Should I intervene? Olivia could not answer. Her body felt distant, unimportant, compared to the vast mental landscape she now inhabited. She saw threats and possibilities stretching across time and space. She understood now why the Queen had chosen her, why the dragon had recognized something in her. Olivia had a particular kind of mind, flexible enough to withstand the bonding, resilient enough to remain human while connecting with alien consciousness. The ceremony reached its peak. Olivia felt something fundamental shifting within her, not changing who she was but expanding it. She remained Commander Olivia Mercer, loyal to Earth and humanity. But she also became something more, a bridge between species, a warrior against the void. When the light finally faded, and Olivia could once again feel her physical body, she stood changed. The Queen rose beside her, their movements perfectly mirrored without conscious thought. Azarath lowered his massive head and both women placed their hands upon his scales, completing the circuit of connection. Samantha rushed forward, scanner beeping wildly. "Commander, your eyes!" she gasped. Olivia blinked, looking at her friend. With her new vision, Samantha glowed with potential possibilities branching from her like threads of light. Olivia could see patterns of thought forming in her friend's mind, could sense her worry and confusion. "It is normal, Queen," Lyriel said. "Her physical appearance will reflect the bond her eyes now see as we see." Olivia turned to look at her reflection in the now calm pool water. Her eyes had changed. They reflected the same iridescent quality as the Queen's, with tiny patterns. Like stars moving within them, she should have been frightened, but instead felt only wonder and purpose. "I can see them," she whispered. "The void. Harvesters. They approach faster than you thought. The first scouts will reach our system within 6 months, not the years you estimated." The Queen nodded grimly. "The bond allows us to share true knowledge, not just what we tell each other. Now you understand why there was no time for traditional diplomacy." Samantha stepped closer, still scanning Commander. "Are you all right?" "What happened to you? I am still me," Olivia assured her. "But I can see more now." "No more." She turned to her friend with new eyes. "I can see something else too. You have potential, Samantha. A compatibility with Azarath that I did not expect. The dragon has noticed it as well." The massive dragon rumbled its agreement, lowering its head to examine Samantha more closely. The lieutenant stepped back nervously, her scanner forgotten in her hand. The Queen looked surprised. "Too compatible. Humans found so quickly. This is unexpected but fortunate. We will need more bonds, more connections if we are to prepare your world in time." "Wait," Samantha said, backing away further. "I didn't agree to any bonding." "You do not need to decide now, Olivia," said, understanding her friend's fear. "I made my choice, but yours remains your own. But we will need more humans who can bond, more connections between our species. If we are to survive what comes." Lauren approached cautiously. "Commander, I need to send a report to Earth." "What should I tell them?" "Tell them," Olivia said, her new eyes glowing slightly in the moonlight. "Tell them the threat is real and imminent. Tell them we need to prepare for war." That night in her quarters, Olivia struggled to sleep. Her mind continually reached out, connecting briefly with the Queen and Azarath, even across distance. She could feel them like distant stars in her consciousness. Their presence was comforting, yet strange. She looked out at the alien sky, seeing it with new perception. Each star now seemed alive, pulsing with meaning. She could sense which ones had planets which might harbor life. She could also sense the approaching darkness, the void between stars where something hungry moved steadily toward Earth. Samantha entered without knocking. "Commander, we need to talk." Her face was set with determination. "Come in," Olivia said, though her friend was already inside. "The scanner readings are unlike anything we've seen," Samantha said. "The neural patterns. It's like your brain rewired itself in minutes. The changes should be impossible, but they're stable. Your frontal cortex activity has increased by 300%. I know," Olivia said. "I can feel it. The bond expanded my mind." And Commander Olivia Mercer stood tall as the ship doors opened before her. The alien air smelled like cinnamon and something else she could not name. Her heart beat fast, but her face stayed calm. This was why she trained for 15 years in the Space Academy. The sky above was purple with 3 moons hanging low. The biggest one glowed green while the other 2 shined silver. The crystal trees around the landing pad reflected light in rainbow patterns. Olivia had never seen anything so beautiful behind. Her 6 crew members waited for her signal. They were the first humans to step foot on Eldara 7, a planet discovered only 2 years ago. Intelligence reports said the beings here looked like elves from old Earth stories. They called themselves. The Sylvari Captain Diane Foster touched Olivia's shoulder. "We should move forward, Commander." "The Sylvari representatives are waiting by those tall structures." Olivia nodded and led her team down the ramp. The gravity felt lighter here, making each step feel bouncy and strange. She carried the peace flag of Earth in her right hand while her left stayed near her hidden weapon, just in case first contact missions were always risky. 5 tall figures stepped out from behind crystal pillars. Their skin glowed with a soft blue light and their ears ended in elegant points just like elves, Olivia thought. Yet something about them felt ancient and powerful, not like the friendly elves from children's books. These beings had eyes that seemed to hold galaxies. The tallest Sylvari stepped forward. Her silver hair floated around her as if underwater despite there being no wind. Her dress changed colors with every movement, shifting between blue and purple in colors. Olivia had no names for. "I am Queen Lyriel, ruler of the 7th House of Sylvari, and bonded to Azurath, last of the stellar dragons. Welcome to Eldara 7. Humans of Earth." As the Queen spoke, something massive moved in the sky above them. Olivia looked up and gasped. A creature that could only be described as a dragon circled overhead. Its scales shimmered with star patterns and its wingspan blocked out the largest moon completely when it passed before it. The dragon Azurath let out a sound between a song and a roar, making the air itself vibrate. Lieutenant Samantha Wells whispered beside Olivia. "They never mentioned a dragon in our briefings." "Keep calm," Olivia whispered back. "Show no fear." The delegation followed Queen Lyriel toward a massive crystal palace. Each tower spiraled up impossibly high, some connecting with walkways made of what looked like solid light. Olivia tried to memorize everything she saw. The scientists back home would want every detail. Inside the palace, Sylvari of different heights and colors moved about, some stopping to stare at the humans with curious eyes. The main hall opened up to reveal a ceiling that seemed transparent, showing the stars above, though Olivia knew it must be night outside. Queen Lyriel sat upon a throne that grew from the floor itself. It looked like a living thing made of crystal and plants together. The dragon Azurath flew in through a massive opening in the ceiling and curled around the throne room. Its body was bigger than Olivia's. "Entire ship we have. Watched your kind for many cycles," Queen Lyriel said. Her voice echoed slightly as if multiple people spoke at once. "You have grown quickly from planet dwellers to star travelers." Olivia stepped forward as practiced. "We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge exchange between our worlds. Earth offers its hand in alliance." The formal words felt small in this massive space before these ancient-seeming beings, but protocol was protocol. Olivia had memorized the first contact speech approved by Earth government and practiced it hundreds of times. Queen Lyriel tilted her head, studying Olivia with intense interest. The other Sylvari in the room whispered among themselves. The dragon made a rumbling sound, and the Queen placed her hand on its massive claw. Something passed between dragon and Queen. Some silent communication. Olivia could sense it, though she did not understand it. The hair on her arm stood up, and she felt a strange pressure in her mind, as if someone was gently knocking on a door. Then Queen Lyriel stood up in one fluid motion and walked directly to Olivia, ignoring all protocol. She moved with grace that no human could match, covering the distance between them in seconds. She stood so close that Olivia could see tiny stars moving in her pupils like living constellations. "Are you unattached, human queen?" Lyriel asked boldly. Her voice no longer echoed, and instead felt intimate and direct. Olivia blinked in confusion. The question violated every diplomatic protocol. The crew behind her shifted nervously. Lieutenant Wells stepped slightly forward in a protective gesture. "I, the commander of the Horizon's Edge, am here as Earth representative," Olivia said carefully, avoiding the personal question. "What do you mean?" By Unattached, Your Majesty. Queen Lyriel smiled, revealing teeth that shimmered like pearls. Not mated, bonded, connected to another. I sense something in you, human, something that calls to both me and Azarath. You are different from the others. The dragon lowered its massive head until one enormous eye was level with Olivia. The eye was deep blue, with swirls of cosmic dust moving within it. Olivia felt frozen in place, unable to look away as something ancient and powerful examined her very soul. Captain, Foster coughed nervously. Commander, perhaps we should return to diplomatic protocols, but Queen Lyriel ignored the captain. Her focus remained entirely on Olivia. You do not understand yet, but you will. The void approaches, and we have been searching. For one like you for many cycles, Void, Olivia asked, unable to help herself. What void? Before the queen could answer, the dragon made a musical sound and lifted its head sharply. All the Sylvari in the room dropped to one knee, including the queen herself. Olivia and her crew remained standing, unsure what to do. Azarath has given us a sign, Queen Lyriel said as she rose. The human commander is the one we have awaited. The prophecy speaks true. The stars align. Olivia felt her training failing her. Nothing in the diplomatic manuals covered being selected by an alien dragon for some unknown prophecy. She looked to her crew for support and saw their confused and worried faces. Commander, I think we should request clarification. Lieutenant Wells said quietly. These terms are not in our mission parameters. Queen Lyriel clapped her hands once, and the floor beneath them illuminated, showing a map of stars. Olivia recognized the Milky Way galaxy, but with dark patches spreading through it like ink in water. The void harvesters approach your world as they once approached ours. Queen Lyriel explained. They consume stars and all life. They have hunted the Sylvari across galaxies for millennia. We came here seeking allies, and Azarath has chosen you, Commander. Olivia Mercer. How do you know my full name? Olivia asked, surprised. She had only introduced herself as Commander Mercer. We have ways of knowing many things, Queen Lyriel said. You must decide, Commander. Will you join with us against the coming darkness? Will you bond with me and Azarath to save both our peoples? The dragon moved closer again. Its breath smelled like stardust and ozone. It made Olivia's skin tingle, and her mind feel expanded somehow, as if she could suddenly perceive more than before. This is moving too quickly, Olivia said, struggling to maintain composure. We came for diplomatic talks, not to join unknown battles or bonds. The queen looked sad. You do not yet understand the honor being offered or the necessity. The void gives no time. For lengthy diplomacy, it consumes and destroys. I ask again, human, are you unattached? Are you free to bond, Captain? Foster stepped forward. Commander, we should discuss this privately with Earth Command. This is beyond our mission. Parameters? Olivia nodded, grateful for the interruption. Your Majesty, we need time to consult with our leadership. This is not a decision I can make alone. Queen Lyriel looked disappointed but nodded. The dragon made a sound like distant thunder. You have until the third moon, aligns with the first. That is 3 of your Earth days. Consider carefully, human. The fate of both our peoples may depend on your answer, as the humans were escorted to private quarters. Olivia felt the queen's eyes following her. Something had happened. In that throne room, something profound and strange. She had felt the dragon's mind touch hers briefly, and in that touch she had seen stars dying and worlds in flames. Samantha approached her when they were alone. What was that all about, Commander? Are they asking you to marry their queen or something? Olivia shook her head. I don't think it's marriage, at least not in the way we understand it. There's something else happening here. Something about a threat coming to Earth. Samantha looked worried. Do you think they're telling the truth or manipulating us? I don't know, Olivia admitted. But when that dragon looked at me, I saw things. Terrible things. Coming our way. That night, Olivia dreamed of stars going dark one by one and a massive shadow spreading across the galaxy. She woke up gasping for air. The window in her room showed all 3 moons now visible in the alien sky. 2 were starting to align. The third would join them soon. She had 3 days to decide. 3 days to choose between following protocol or following the strange pull she felt toward the queen and her dragon. 3 days before everything would change forever.